It's literally extremely difficult to believe that this is actually taking place. In fact, around here, we did some fact checking to make sure that there was not something behind the story that we were missing. And to the best of our knowledge, we're bringing you this story because it appears to be what it appears to be, which is an individual, Douglas Mackey. He's a designer of memes and jokes, satire. He is literally now on his way to federal prison for 7 months for making a meme, a joke, about Hillary Clinton supporters voting by text. Text. Everybody knows you can't text a vote. It was a joke. But for that, he's been charged as some degree of election interference and finds his sentence now 7 months of federal prison time. It's just absolutely incredible that this type of thing is going on. Or have we entered a phase where even telling a joke is a crime if that joke is not funny to those who are in power? Well, joining me now to discuss this latest example of federal government being weaponized is John Daukas. He's a former acting assistant attorney general for civil rights at the U.S. Department of Justice, and his role at that time, he did oversight over cases exactly like this. So, John, welcome to Washington Watch. Great to have you.
It's great to be with you, Congressman.
All right, listen, before we get into the details, let me just ask you up front, is there any part of this story that I'm missing?
There's one part which makes it even a little bit worse, which is that the criminal complaint that was used to arrest Mr. Mackey also included allegations that he had said that if Hillary Clinton was elected, that she would get the U.S. involved in wars and have our daughters fighting in those wars, draft our daughters along with our sons, which seems like a purely political statement. But apparently the government, the Biden Justice Department, thought that that was in some way criminal or wrong as well, which, again, is very concerning to people who are concerned about free speech.
All right, there's so much about this that's concerning to me. Yeah, you just mentioned free speech. So let me ask you, is this a free speech case, or is this a federal government being weaponized to go after political opponents case, or some mixture of both? What is at stake here? What is this case really all about?
Well, Congressman, it's both free speech and the weaponization of the Justice Department. What has happened here, the posting a meme, and especially a meme that's clearly satire, you posted it up on the screen. It has someone with a MAGA hat who is advancing this meme. It's not covered by the statute which was used to convict this man, Mr. Mackey. The statute that was used is the Federal Civil Rights Conspiracy Statute. It's also known as the Ku Klux Klan Act. It's from 1871, and it was intended to protect former slaves who were trying to exercise civil rights like being able to vote and other rights, and who were subject to lynching and beating and threats of that ilk. It certainly wasn't intended to punish someone for posting a meme. But what's happened here is we've got the Biden Justice Department and people who, frankly, are 2016 election deniers who don't want to admit that President Trump won that election, casting about to try to criminalize what has always been, frankly, part of the rough and tumble of politics.
Well, exactly. And, it just appears to me that this is such an enormous stretch to call this meme, this joke, election interference. Who in the world believes that you can actually vote by texting? I mean, really, and for him just to kind of poke fun, mock, if you will, Hillary Clinton supporters by saying, why don't y'all just try voting by texting? How much of a stretch is it to go from that joke to all of a sudden calling this election interference?
Exactly. And the government presented no evidence that any person was denied the right to vote or was taken in by this, that there were people who tried texting the line, but there is no evidence whatsoever that anyone failed to vote because of this meme. One other point that I think is very important here, the government brought this criminal trial in Brooklyn, which is a very Democratic, heavily Democratic district. Their position is they can bring criminal charges, criminal cases against people in any district where a meme was viewed. And what that means here is that in this case, none of the alleged conspirators lived in Brooklyn. None of the activities that they were alleged to have engaged in took place in Brooklyn. But the suit was brought there because the government apparently thought it could find a favorable jury. So are we going to have Democrats dragging people from, say, Florida and indicting them in San Francisco because they think that they posted a meme and that's a better place for the lawsuit? And Republicans doing the same to people who are from New York City, trying them down in Texas. It's kind of the worst form of forum shopping, of picking a location that's very favorable to your case, to the criminal case, and very unfavorable to a defendant.
John Daukas, thank you so much for joining us. Unbelievable story, just unimaginable that this is happening. We'll keep a pulse on it going forward. Thanks for joining us on Washington Watch.